Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens. I'm a teacher and author, and this is English Nerd. So today I wanted to talk about several classics that will not crush your soul. Classic literature, it has a reputation, and perhaps rightly so, of being filled with really sad books. Some of my personal favorites are incredibly sad, but I grabbed a few off my shelves to demonstrate that they are not all super sad. And here are, in fact, several classic works of literature that if some of them are happy and others are just more thoughtful and nobody dies or anything like that. So I'm going to start off in no particular order. The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. Yes, it is a children's classic. Some of these are going to be children's classics, but it's nothing but delightful, and it's not sad at all. If you're looking for an uplifting kind of book, this classic will do the trick. Next up is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Is it trippy? 100%. But if you have not read this, then it's definitely worth checking out. And I recently got a really beautiful edition of Alice in Wonderland. If you didn't see that video, I would recommend that you go in and watch that. Okay, next up is Ray Bradbury. Some of his stuff is pretty difficult, kind of soul-crushing, and others are lighter and more beautiful. Dandelion Wine falls into that second category. It is basically just boyhood in this very small, sleepy town at the turn of the century. And the language is gorgeous. It's perfect for the summertime. So as I record this, it is the end of May. It's just the perfect time to read Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury if you want a happier, more soothing classic. Next up is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It is, of course, about Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer's friend, who goes on this grand adventure with his friend Jim down the Mississippi River. And it deals with some hard stuff here and there, but it's mainly not sad at all. It is kind of a coming-of-age story. So if you haven't read Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, it is another one of those that is not super sad among the classics. After this, there's some Shakespeare. Yes, not all Shakespeare is soul-crushingly sad. I have The World's Smallest Midsummer Night's Dream here. That is one of Shakespeare's only fully original plots. A lot of people don't realize that he took his plot ideas from various histories and things that already existed for the most part, and then just adapted them in such a wildly incredible way that people have kind of forgotten about the source material. But Midsummer Night's Dream he came up with completely on his own, and it is full of shenanigans and fairies and magic, and it's chaos and it's fun, and everything turns out all right in the end. Sticking with Shakespeare, I have one more, and it's not actually a comedy. I could have put Much Ado About Nothing, Twelfth Night, things like that on here, but instead I'm going to put The Tempest, which is Shakespeare's last play, or one of his very last plays that he wrote. And it's fascinating because it's a mashup of some of the elements that would set up a tragedy and some of the elements that would set up a comedy. But then it ends up being kind of none of those, and it's just this very magical, enchanted story about people who are shipwrecked on an island where a sorcerer lives with his daughter, and how the sorcerer, through the help of various supernatural forces, gets everybody to come together. And it's if you haven't read The Tempest, definitely give it a shot if you're interested in Shakespeare that's maybe a tiny bit off the beaten path. It's like not really much off the beaten path at all, but it's like one step more obscure than like Macbeth or something like that. My next one comes from the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, actually. I would not put the entire Canterbury Tales into this category necessarily. It is definitely a mixed bag. It's a variety of tales by a variety of different people. But one that is genuinely funny. So if you want to try the Canterbury Tales without going too deep into some of the just dark or weird or just totally inappropriate stuff. Then I would recommend The Nun's Priest's Tale. The Nun's Priest's Tale is about a rooster named Chanticleer who has the most beautiful singing voice in the land, but he has a dreadful dream that he takes as a prophetic dream that he's going to be attacked by this monster, and you see kind of how it plays out. But the story has a happy ending. It's okay, and so The Nun's Priest's Tale is a good one to check out there. A few more honorable mentions. I could not have this list without mentioning The Importance of Being Earnest. That one is so laugh out loud funny, whether you're watching it, whether you're reading it. It's a play. And sometimes plays don't translate when you're just sitting there alone reading, but The Importance of Being Earnest totally does. It is hilarious. Oscar Wilde has several other plays that are good as well, but none of them are as funny or as happy, I think, as The Importance of Being Earnest is. I would also put some works like Around the World in 80 Days and The Black Arrow into this category, although, to be fair, it's been a very long time since I've read those, so my memory is that they are fun adventures, but sometimes you go back to stuff that you read a long time ago and you're like, oh, well, I don't remember that being in there. The Secret Garden would definitely qualify as just a really beautiful classic book. So there are some ideas if you want to read some classic literature, but you're just not in the mood for your soul to be completely crushed because your favorite character gets killed. Hashtag all my favorites. Then there are some books to check out. So yeah, like this video if you like it. Add a few more not sad classics to the notes down below. I'd love to hear those. And don't forget to subscribe for more English nerdy goodness.